And welcome to The Bottom Line, where we unpack some of the main business and economic stories of the day. On Monday, the Polish Deputy Prime Minister Krzysztof Gawkowski announced ambitious plans to take the country's AI research and digitalization to the next level. By Wednesday, we hear that the US, one of Poland's notable allies, has put it on the back foot. Poland has been put into the Tier 2 category of countries, which will face restrictions on chip imports. I'm now joined by Aleksandra Przegalińska, Vice-Rector for Innovation and AI at Warsaw's Koźmiński University, to share her insights on the news. Hello, and thank you very much for joining us on the show.
Thank you for the invitation.
So to begin with, do share your thoughts on Poland being classified as a two-tier country in this context.
Well, first of all, I think it's important to emphasize that Poland is not the only country that kind of surprises in this second tier or in this second category of companies where AI will or will not be shipped. Among countries that also landed in the same category, we have Switzerland, we also have Portugal, and many other countries from Central and Eastern Europe. So, NATO allies, countries that essentially implement the same directives and the same regulations in terms of tech safety as the other members of the European Union. So it is indeed a very surprising situation, because we also do not understand the algorithm that put us in that tier, that has put us in that category. And I have been in touch with my colleagues from Switzerland. And by the way, Switzerland is a leading AI center in Europe, with major efforts in building large language models and current really cutting edge AI. And none of us really understands what's happening here. We have not heard any justification for this sort of categorization. So it is quite a shocking story. We may assume perhaps that it has something to do with the fact that the US administration believes that perhaps sending or shipping more chips to us would allow for a situation where hostile countries could easily take over, but we don't understand why that would be the case. So it has not been justified. There is a major discussion among the countries that landed in that category in an unjustified way, I think. So yeah, this is where we are.
So there's been considerable backlash against this action. But do you find, as an expert, obviously, do you find that the expert and media reaction has perhaps been adequate, or do you think it's been too strong? Should it be escalated by Foreign Minister Radosław Sikorski? Already hear that the Polish embassy in Washington has taken action. We hear that Ursula von der Leyen has already spoken on behalf of the divided EU countries. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, no wonder that the European Commission is trying to address that, because we do have a single market and we have one European Union, and we shouldn't have such divisions. I have also been hearing that various companies like NVIDIA and others have also issued their own statements on how they find this, division also, again, unjustified. I think that the whole debate that's currently happening in Poland among the experts and within this growing AI community is absolutely justified. I actually think we should be even louder, and we should be searching actively for allies, because this is extremely important. AI is the technology that shapes the world, and we should be able to participate, in its future and kind of give it directions as the other member states of the European Union. And I think we should speak even more about it. It's a very important issue that should not be covered by other political events. And I certainly hope that indeed, as the Deputy Minister of Digitization has mentioned, that the next US administration will reconsider this decision. And I'm hoping that the Polish diplomatic services will make sure to put a bit more, pressure and put it high up in their agenda of what's important in 2025.
And just going back to events from earlier this week, could you tell us how Poland's potential exclusion, could impact the country's plans to boost the development of AI and digital technology? Just a reminder to our viewers, the Minister of Digital Affairs announced another round of financing when it comes to AI. Maybe this sounds a little bit dramatic at this stage because we don't know how the events will develop, but can we say that Poland might become AI backwater because of what we see developing this week?
There's certainly such a threat because on one hand, in Poland, you have plenty of AI talent. You have many people who are willing to work in this field. You have more and more companies implementing artificial intelligence. You have the ministry that is trying to cater to the needs of the AI community and help out, build funds, etc. And I think we have ambitions. We are trying to also participate in various scientific endeavors related to artificial intelligence. And it is a problem because today AI is not only about data and algorithms. We know how to build algorithms, and I think we have quite a lot of data, but the crucial component is infrastructure, is computational capacity. And this is something that those chips provide. So without them actually building better, larger, more ambitious AI is going to be more problematic. And what I also think is that, essentially countries that are put in that second category, also in a quite an unjustified manner, might be looking for other providers. They've always considered US to be a quality provider, a great provider, but all the countries are now trying to pursue their AI agendas. And I think it is a very big issue, and the consequences are hard to foresee.
And in terms of practicalities and looking into the future, one of the experts that we spoke to today said that the exact scale of the potential impact remains to be seen because Polish companies don't actually have to buy those chips. They can still lease the computing time remotely on advanced AI chips. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's insufficient. As I said prior, securing good AI infrastructure and computational capacity is key today. And because of that, obviously, we will be looking for Plan B and Plan C if that's needed. But I think the first thing that needs to be done is kind of get some clarity on why this second tier, and also address the upcoming US administration, the new president, and also take into consideration that the tech sector is not in favor of this decision. And hopefully, before we discuss further consequences of what is happening, we will perhaps see an alternative to this approach where Poland will be able to buy and purchase chips from the United States.
And as an AI expert, would you agree with Professor Sankowski's comments? Just for our viewers, he's a computer scientist at the University of Warsaw. On X and on Rzeczpospolita Daily, he mentioned that these semiconductor restrictions will not allow Poland to develop its own superintelligence. What are your thoughts on that?
We would have to talk about it for a very long time because I'm not a fan of this term superintelligence, and I don't know exactly what it means. I think it became a very vague term, but it is clear that many companies have ambitions, and many countries as well have ambitions to build bigger and better AI. You may call it AGI. We're certainly not at the stage where we can think of superintelligence. I know that Sam Altman from OpenAI tends to use this term very often, but I think it's overused. So I wouldn't refer to superintelligence, but what I can certainly say is that it is a situation that makes it very troubling to think further about our ambitions in terms of artificial intelligence and its development.
And just very briefly, as we wrap up, would you say that Poland is over-dependent on the US when it comes to AI development?
I think it's not the right question because there are many countries that are depending on this infrastructure. Artificial intelligence, is certainly a very big thing in the United States. The US has always provided the world with semiconductors, particularly its allies. So it's not about Poland, really. Many countries depend on it. But I think, if this is the case, if that's the situation, maybe the approach of Poland will have to be about diversification.
Okay, Aleksandra Przegalińska, thank you so much for joining us. It's great to have you on our show.
Thank you.
And we were joined by Aleksandra Przegalińska, Vice-Rector for Innovation and AI at Warsaw's Koźmiński University. Thanks so much for joining us today. I was your host, Marie Cato. Make sure you join us every weekday for Business Arena at 5 p.m. CET on TVP World. And for the latest in regional business, follow us on X and on tvpworld.com. And for more news and features, stay with us on TVP World. Goodbye.